Oh, exactly.
He's also self-admittedly an incel. Isn't that
What's wrong
right?
with that?
Which is
What's wrong with
insane.
that? What's wrong with that? He
being
says
innocent.
probably the fact that incels throw, I don't know, the last, like, I don't know, since inceldom really became a thing.
It's involuntary, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
He calls himself a proud virgin and an incel, but doesn't make sense. But regardless, what's wrong with incels is that incels have unalived vast swaths of women because of their ideology.
I'll be honest, it's not that much. I mean, if you can look at the Wikipedia page on incel violence, it's like 10 facts.
What amount of women dying is like okay for you?
I'm talking about it, it's okay, it's just not large swaths of them.
Wait. What is the philosophy of an incel?
Well, an incel just means involuntary celibate. We can talk about black pill, which is like going deeper into it, but like an incel just on its own, it's just an involuntary
Maybe I'll
celibate.
include an
Why
incel.
are you involuntarily celibate?
Because of my bone structure.
You
That's
just
not
have
funny.
too nice of
That's
cheekbones?
There's nothing funny about that. It's a huge issue in society. Huge issue in society. Being
Bro,
ugly.
that was not the question. That was not the question.
What?
Like, the reason why you're an incel isn't like, we're not asking you like if you're ugly or something. We're
I mean, that's
asking
why
you.
I'm involuntary celibate. So
No,
that's not to answer the question.
wait, just listen to what I'm saying. I'm trying
Wait,
to
you're
clarify.
saying you're ugly? That's why you're an incel?
Yes,
Yeah,
it's like
kind-
bone structure.
Kind of the thing. Yeah.
So that's
Bro,
your
that's-
face?
Yeah.
Like, how, on a scale of like 1 to 10, how ugly are you? Like 10 being like,
Yeah, I know. I mean, I would classify myself as a sub 3, so I'm somewhere in the 2 to 3 category.
3 is insane.
Yeah, it's a very painful life.
so
It's not fun at all.
one is super ugly and like 10 is hot,
Yeah, I would say I'm like a 3.
or a 3.
Yeah. And that makes my life incredibly difficult because there's a lot of
Well, I
discrimination.
mean, I think a lot of ugly men get laid. You know, they just
Yeah,
either have a
literally.
funnier
It's not
personality.
about. Yeah,
No, I mean, inceldom
that
is
wasn't
on
the
rise.
question though.
Inceldom is on the rise because feminism, because women, when you give women autonomy,
No,
they can enact their
I
hypergamy.
wanna hear
freely. Horrible.
What? When you give women autonomy, they don't have to sleep with you? Is that what you're saying?
They can enact their hypergamy freely, which is ruining like birth rates and marriages, and it's horrible. It's just
Well,
the worst thing.
what obligation do women have to give men sex or children?
Wait, you cut out for me. Can you can you say that again?
What obligation do women have to give men access to sex or to have babies?
I mean, it depends. If you want to have a functioning society, you need to have babies.
So, if women don't want to have babies, is that an immoral thing?
Yeah, I mean, I would say that continuing the human race is a moral action. And destroying it, wanting to destroy it.
So we have a moral obligation to continue the human race?
I would say so, yeah.
And if women don't participate in that, they're committing an immoral action?
On a large scale, sure.
Would you say that men have an obligation to stop them?
To stop them from what? From not having children?
Yeah.
If all women on Earth decided to not have children?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, that's
And
that's
how would
saving the
men do
human
that?
race.
And how would men do that?
I don't know, arranged marriages, how did we do it for thousands of years?
So they would rape women.
Sure.
So you would say that would be a moral action.
Yeah, saving the human race is moral, true.
So you are saying there are contexts where rape is moral.
I mean, I can make an absurd hypothetical for everything.
I just want to make sure. You are saying there are contexts where rape is moral.
I mean, it's like, do you want to get to like a point here, or
That
are
is
you
my
just trying to
point.
get,
I'm just amazed how many men condone rape.
Yeah, I'm gonna help you out. If you are like involuntarily celibate, I'll give you a tip, and it's that women typically don't like men that are pro-grape. Yeah.
True, that's my opening line on Tinder. Actually, I say I'm pro grape. My name is Virgin Pride. I love grape. That's what I say to women. It's my first thing I say.
Sarcasm is not charming.
Yeah, it's a joke.
It's not charming. It's not funny.
I think it's.
Stop. Listen, the question, because this took a weird turn and it was hilarious to me. The question isn't, do you think you're ugly and that's why you haven't had schmex? The question is, what qualifies you to be an incel?
Being ugly.
Necessary. So requires you to be ugly?
I mean, there's
Good
some
looking incels.
There's some niche cases where a mental
Okay, excellent. So then if there's some cases, then ugliness is not a qualifier. So we're asking, We're asking you what the qualifiers for being an incel are, and what the ideology is, and what you hold true to the ideology that would make you an incel.
There's no incel ideology. There's a black pill ideology, but there's no incel ideology.
Incel is just an incel ideology.
No. You're just conflating black pill with incel. Incel is just the state
black
of
pill.
being.
Black pill actually is like doomer ideology. It's not even incel ideology.
No, it
like,
is.
No, because like women can have black pill ideology. It's just doomer ideology.
Yeah,
like
like incels can believe in the red pill, or like what you guys think about personality.
Incel ideology is red pill ideology. The entire point of red pill is to tell incels that they are owed sex from women. It's
red pill is. No, red pill is like for like cocks. Like black pill is for beast incels like me. But being an incel,
red pill is the philosophy that women are the privileged gender.
Exactly this.
I mean, they are. But like we can talk about black pill, but being an incel is just a state of being.
Black pill is just doomer. Okay, you know what? Never mind. I tried.
No. Being an incel is just
how long do you think like you have to go without sex in order to qualify as an incel?
Well, academically, they declare you celibate after 6 months, but I would say for actual incel, you need to be celibate for your whole life.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because that's kind of there's the consensus of the incels. They say that being an incel means that you have never had a girlfriend, you've never had intercourse with a woman consensual.
Consensually?
I mean, in the sense of like you can pay an escort, which is, I guess, consensual intercourse, but it's not what we're talking about.
Wait, so you're saying incels could pay for prostitutes and they would still be an incel?
Yeah, of course, everyone can buy a prostitute. That doesn't mean that you're desired by women.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think like you can be with gold diggers and you're not desired by women. But
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't even think that this whole money maxing thing, that if you become rich and then you get women, I don't even think that's true desire too. I think true desire from women comes from attractiveness.
I'm curious. What do you think would happen if, like, what if you were going out, like, dating a girl, and then, like, how do you think she would react to finding out that you, like, called yourself an incel and a proud virgin online?
Well, if I ever dated a girl, I wouldn't be an incel anymore, so I wouldn't be engaging in it.
But how do you think she would react to, like, say she, like, saw a notification on your TikTok from, like, proud virgin? What do you think, like, and then, maybe she looked into you a little bit and found out that you call yourself an incel. Do you think that's, like, an attractive trait?
No, and I'm not using it to attract women. This is not something.
But, like, I think you should maybe look into, like, how it is utterly fucking repulsive, and, like, you'll probably ruin any chance you have with a woman if she were to find out that, like, you are doing this shit.
Well, I obviously don't think I have any chance with women. Otherwise, I wouldn't be on live talking about how I'm an incel.
That's awesome, but that is like a quitter fucking ideology,
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, reality is brutal sometimes.
Just a limited mindset. That's it.
Reality is brutal sometimes.
I genuinely think, like, even if you're ugly as fuck. Like, I have seen ugly ass men date, like, my best friend's ex was ugly as fuck, and he cheated on her after 3 years. So I don't think being ugly is what's limiting you. I think it's, like, a matter of confidence, and, like, you going online calling yourself an incel is, like, your confidence is in the fucking floor. You are never ever, like, you are going to remain an incel for your entire life if you continue to act like this.
Well, first of all, you're a woman, so I wouldn't take any account of
that. I mean, I don't think we need to give them tips on dating. Like, that's free labor.
Yeah, I mean, there's no meme advice. I've heard all the meme advice. It's something you can say that I haven't heard before, because your people like always say.
I don't want to coach you.
Yeah, I'm not here to be coached.
Great. So that's why I'm totally like not to coach. So what are you here to discuss?
I mean, I guess feminism sucks. I mean, of course I'm an incel, so of course I would disagree with feminism.
Why?
Obviously, feminism doesn't suck if you're an incel.
Do you think that you're entitled to women? Like you're entitled to their love, companionship, their bodies?
I think everyone deserves love and companionship. I don't know about it.
Do you think you're owed it though?
Right. Do you think you're entitled?
I mean, I'm not that far down. I think women. I don't think that women. I'm not that far down. I think that women are commodities yet. Like maybe I need to do some reading, but like I mean,
we're not asking. Hold on, stop, real quick. We're not asking if you think women are commodities. We can get there later. Stop trying to jump the conversation forward. Just answer whether or not you believe you are entitled to love.
Yeah, but that's a part of the conversation, right? Because if I think I'm entitled to women,
absolutely not. No.
I mean, if I think I'm entitled to women, I think that's like that. Then I think women are a commodity.
No, because if me and Kenzie, hold on. If me and Kenzie, Wait, again, because if me and Kinsey were in a relationship, I would feel entitled to Kinsey's love. Like, but that does not mean Kinsey is property. It just means we have an agreement, and I feel entitled to something that we have committed to each other to. So, like, it does not mean that the other person's property. We're just asking you if you believe that you are entitled to this thing.
Nah, not really.
Okay, awesome. There you go. That's the answer.
Well, I feel that's a very common philosophy among incels, is that they're owed something and they're not getting what they're entitled to.
I think a lot of people say that, but like I am like in a lot of incel spaces, and like no one says this. It's like some feminist caricature where like a lot of people say, "Well, incels think they're entitled." It's like no one's saying this.
Well, yeah, because that's why they're angry with women, right? Because women reject them.
Yeah, but you can want something, and that doesn't mean you're entitled to it. You just want something really badly. It doesn't mean
well, then why would you be angry at women for rejecting you?
Because you obviously think that women have some kind of mate selection criteria. That's unfair.
What would be unfair? Being likable?
I mean, being attractive. I mean, I obviously don't think that women care about personality. So.
Why?
I mean, I think that women high up.
Because yours is a shining gem?
What?
Because yours is a shining gem?
No.
So you think you have a shitty personality?
I mean, it's not shitty. It's not great. I mean, I'm not special.
Well, I mean, you philosophically hold principles that there are contexts where rape is moral.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I'm sure I can make up some crazy scenario where you'd agree to.
Well, no. I don't think that people should be tortured so that other people can live.
I mean, can I then call it, let's say I say, would you click a button for one person to get raped? If that means that if you don't press the button, everyone gets raped forever. Would you press that button?
That's still choosing grape or grape.
Yeah, that's the whole thing.
Literally choosing grape or grape.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. Yeah, that's what I said.
My scenario was grape or no grape. Your scenario is grape or more grape.
Yeah, that's what I said. I can make a scenario.
It's not a problem for grape, bro.
And the only thing I said is that I can make a scenario where it's so ridiculous that
it doesn't mean that grape. It doesn't mean that we think grape is okay in any of the scenarios. And you just made it grape or grape. Like that doesn't.
Yeah, but I didn't think that's ideal either. I didn't think in the scenario you gave me that grape is a good thing. I mean, it's going to be heartbreaking, of course, for all these women's consent to be violated. But yeah.
Wait. I think you should let the species die out rather than causing women to continue it.
Yeah, I know it. I mean, that's the difference. That's just the difference that we have. I'm just saying I can also make a crazy hypothetical where you agree with me, where grape is like acceptable.
No, we did not agree that grape was acceptable. We told you it was acceptable. It was unacceptable in both ways. You're just saying it's acceptable as a hope.
I mean, if you click the button, you think it's acceptable to do grape.
If I click the button, 1 second. If I click the button, grape occurs. If I don't click the button, grape occurs.
Literally.
Yeah. So
no matter what I do, grape is occurring. Where in your scenario, in the scenario I gave you, the hypothetical, there was an option where no grape occurs.
I mean, I can make the same.
Grape occurs.
I can make the same. If you really want to be so semantical about it, we can make a scenario where everyone gets tortured forever if you don't click the button where one person gets raped.
Again, it's torture or torture. I would say not letting the species continue isn't.
Yeah, but that's just a moral difference that we have. I mean, it's completely subjective.
Not a moral difference.
Not a moral difference.
I mean, you think that not letting the human race die out is just like morally, like it's just amoral. It's completely.
It would be amoral. I don't think it's good or bad.
Yeah, that's what I said. And you think it's amoral. So, and I think it's immoral. It's just a difference of opinion. Because I think human beings, as an organism, your only duty is to reproduce.
What?
He said, as human beings, he thinks it's a duty to procreate, but that's
only
just
duty. Their only duty. So then you don't believe in concepts like love.
I mean, it depends. I don't think women love in the way men love, but like.
Well, reproduction has nothing to do with love, right?
I mean, of course it does. I mean, if you come together,
you can reproduce without love, right?
Yeah, you can. But like,
and it doesn't matter how much you love someone. That doesn't increase your chances of reproduction.
Right.
It 100% does. I mean, if you love a woman very much, you want to reproduce and start a family with her.
Well, but again, it doesn't matter how much you love her. That doesn't enhance reproduction. She can still be infertile. You can still be infertile. Reproduction can still not occur.
Yeah, but in most cases, when you love someone very much, then you will want to make that next step in your life with them. It's just a given.
We're talking about biological processes.
Right.
Yeah, I'm just explaining.
Biological processes. And obviously, it doesn't matter how much you love someone. It can occur or not occur.
Yeah, but the thing I say is that there is some like overlap with this. That's the only thing I'm saying here. There's an overlap between love and reproduction.
Wait, you're saying the only purpose is for reproduction?
Yeah, and those things entail certain things like relationships.
You don't have to have a relationship to reproduce.
You don't have to, but it's like it overlaps a lot.
It doesn't. It doesn't have to.
All right, so in order to disagree with me, you don't need to say ridiculous things. You really don't have to do that, all right? So you can say that relationships,
it's not a ridiculous thing. I think people can be in relationships, and that's the kind of system that they want to raise children in. But if all you think it is your duty to reproduce, you don't need all the other things.
Yeah, but those things are mechanisms in order for reproduction to happen. I mean, normally.
No, they're not. Those are additional things to create a specific environment, right? You could go out and have a one-night stand and reproduce, and according to you, you've completed your duty. But that's not what you want. You want an additional environment where you are loved in return and where you're a family. That's not about reproduction.
It is about reproduction because raising offspring.
It's not, because you can reproduce without that system.
Yeah, but raising offspring is a part of reproduction.
You don't need to participate in raising offspring.
I mean, that's also a duty. There's also a duty as human beings to raise your offspring and to get it to health.
I would say if we're talking about like biological roles, then no, men have a very low investment in raising children.
They have extremely high investment in raising children.
No.
They do.
No, like I can make all the arguments that all the red pillars do, that women are more nurturing, women are supposed to be mothers. If all that's true, then men's participation in child rearing should be very minimal.
I mean, it's in order to acquire resources.
We have society for resources. We don't need individual men.
Society is built up of people. It's not just a room.
Right, but I'm saying you don't need an individual partner in order to provide your resources. You can have society.
But society is built up of people.
Right, but I don't need a husband. I don't need the relationship. I don't need the family dynamic in order to have resources.
Yeah, but you're hopping around.
If we're going to go with that philosophy, then I could just say it would be in my benefit to sleep with multiple men so that they all think they're the father of the child and I have access to all of their resources.
Yeah, women do that all the time. They love exploiting men's mate guarding, but then they do it with attention. They don't sleep with
Really?
them.
How do women exploit men for parental resources?
I mean, they exploit male mate guarding.
Men.
They exploit male mate guarding by giving them attention and leading them on.
I would say men are more manipulative.
You're just hopping around, and you were also hopping around with the society. You want to talk about a natural context? You want to talk about societal, like right now? It's completely different. Of course, these dynamics are going to be different.
Well, I mean, you're talking about like a biological function, aren't you?
Yeah, right.
Like, so you want to talk your root. Like it's interesting to me how you say your only purpose is to reproduce, and yet you're talking about a social experience, because that's what you value. It's not the biological processes; it's the social experience that you want.
But I don't reduce.
You want to feel connected to someone.
Yeah, but I don't reduce it like you to just the fertilization of the egg and then you get some kind of ethereal awakening. I mean, of course, I think all these processes melt into each other, into the act of...
Wait, if you find out you're infertile, would you end your life?
Probably. That would be horrible.
That's wild. Anyone else?
People do that all the time. People are devastated when they get the news that they're infertile.
Really? I'm curious what the statistics are. What percentage...
You don't think people...
Suicide is due to
I mean, I just said that they're devastated. I don't think they're...
Well, but I asked you a pretty extreme, that if you would unalive yourself.
Yeah, but that's just me because I think I have a larger emphasis on it than the average person. But I think, obviously... I'm 23.
So is there a certain point in your life where... I mean, you already think you won't be with a woman, right?
Yeah.
So you already think you don't have a purpose.
Yeah, that's why I created this profile. That's why I created my Discord. It's to help lonely men, because a lot of men are like me.
Wait, if you're not fulfilling your purpose...
Yeah, but I want to create a better world for people that do want to fulfill that purpose.
So you're coaching other incels?
I'm not coaching them. I don't even think I'm making any meaningful difference. I'm just coping through life until I self-terminate. But we're talking about I think that the whole feminist thing is a bad thing. We should end it. And if we end it, then we can end the incel.
If we end it, surely you'll get laid if we end it, bro. Surely.
That's true. My father's gonna choose me a beautiful wife, and then we're gonna have a beautiful marriage.
Oh, you poor thing.
Wait. But you would recognize that would be involuntary, which you said is not what you want.
What do you mean?
If your father chooses you a beautiful wife, you recognize that she's just being forced into a relationship with you, and that would be equal to like purchasing a sex worker.
Yeah, but they'll learn to love you. That's what they do all the time.
What? That's such a contradiction. You just said women don't love.
Yeah, but they'll learn to love you in the way that in the way
Then
women
why
can.
don't you just buy a sex worker and just be with her several times when she likes you?
That would make more sense.
Well, I don't think I can have children with a sex worker.
Why?
She'll learn to love you, right? And then she'll leave the industry and then you'll be together?
What if your father chose a sex worker for you?
I don't think in my perfect society there would be sex workers.
In your perfect society.
Wait.
Well, I mean,
In
technically,
what
that's
society?
what you're marrying.
In what society was there not sex workers? Name one.
Yeah, but I'm talking about my perfect society.
No. I don't care what you're talking about. I'm talking about in any society, especially the ones where men have been in control. Name one in which sex workers have not existed.
There are none.
Okay, excellent. So what if your father chooses a sex worker for you?
I mean, but that's the thing. I'm talking about my perfect society, right?
There's no perfect
I
society.
don't feel like you have established to me how your father choosing someone and forcing them to be with you fits the criteria. Like that's still someone involuntarily being with you.
Yeah, but this is the thing. You need to set aside. You need to set aside your disillusionment when it comes to women, right? Because otherwise you'll never be happy. Women are evil, and they're evil creatures, and if you like truly want to understand female nature,
evil?
I mean, I think their practices are not conducive to modern society, especially their mating
practices?
Their mating choices.
So women are just choosing the wrong men.
Yeah, true.
Do you think women are opting out of relationships?
Of course, that's what the statistics show.
So they're choosing no men.
Or Chad.
Or Chad. I would say that is a huge part of incel philosophy. Is not only are you mad at women, resenting women for not giving you sex, but you also resent men you view at like the top of the food chain, right?
I don't hate Chad. Like I hate the game. I don't hate the player. And women create the game, so I hate women.
How do women create the game?
Because women are the gatekeepers of like this realm, the social realm. They have a lot of power in it. That's why.
What power?
Hold the door. The social power.
Well, what is that? What power is that? To not be with men
Yeah, of
that
course.
they don't want to be with?
Yeah, of course, yeah. That's the whole issue. It's called hypergamy. It's a well-established concept in mammalian species.
Well, I don't think that's necessarily hypergamy.
I mean, it is. I mean, it depends on the reason why, right? That's the whole issue. Like, why are they not with these men? Is it because of a valid reason? I don't think so.
Yeah, I do think it is for a valid reason. I think within heterosexual relationships, women are realizing that how they're constructed benefit men.
How?
Well, men get access to a domestic slave. They don't have to participate in child rearing or domestic labor. Women, if divorce occurs, typically suffer worse consequences than men, especially financially. Women can be robbed of their autonomy because our identity is centered around being a wife and a mother. And if you're anything else, then you're not fulfilling like your feminine destiny. Like there's a lot of reasons.
Yeah, but you're living in some kind of like trad wife world. This is not trad wife world. Women don't need to be the domestic slave anymore. That's the issue.
They are. Even still, when women participate in heterosexual relationships, they do twice the amount of domestic labor that men do. It's even called the second shift, to where when men come home, they experience leisure time, and women experience additional unpaid labor.
Yeah, it's totally voluntary, though.
What do you mean it's voluntary? Men are not participating.
Because women have a choice in it. That's the issue.
Right,
I mean,
right. So you're saying now women have a choice. So now we're choosing not to participate with men because they don't participate in the additional labor. And you're saying that choice isn't valid.
Yeah, it's not valid. Because then the side.
How is it not valid?
Because listen, if you're suited better for certain things, I mean, all right, let's say that everyone.
Wait, do you wash your own dishes?
Yeah, sure.
Do you vacuum your own floor?
Yeah, my room.
Do you do your own grocery shopping? Are you able to cook your own meal?
Yeah, I mean, I do a lot of stuff on my own.
Great. So then what do you mean by better suited? You have the capacity to perform these tasks.
Better suited in the sense of, all right, so it's a very nuanced thing, right? I mean, it's not that nuanced. It's like, for all of society, for all of human history, in the majority of countries, we had this gender role where women weren't allowed to work a lot, right? So, of course, they were expected to do a lot of the housework. I mean, I can agree that this is not...
That is still labor. That is still labor. Women have always worked. And now you're contradicting your previous...
No, I mean, you don't even...
You are, because I said if we're going to subscribe to this traditional gender role thing, then men have very little investment in child rearing because we're better suited, right?
I don't even think women are better suited. That's like a red pill belief. It's cringe.
Well, you just upheld gender roles. Domestic labor not only includes like chores, it includes taking care of the children.
I brought him up to explain the disparity that's going on with the second shifting that you're talking about. So, but like, this is the thing.
Why haven't men integrated into household labor?
I mean, yeah, it's just the residues of decamillennia of social conditioning. I don't know.
You're within that capacity, though. So that's why I'm saying the choice.
I'm not saying they shouldn't go to tasks. I'm not saying they...
Then you acknowledge that men. Then you acknowledge that men are interested in a domestic slave to do the labor for them.
I mean, of course, they would be if the woman agrees to do these things, and of course,
that's the thing. Women are not agreeing. Women are working outside the home just as much as men, and want men to help with the labor at home, and they don't.
Well, I obviously don't agree.
That's how it benefits men, and so women are opting out of those relationships.
Well, I don't think that the reason why, and especially not when we're talking about the younger demographic, because that's like really where it hits the hardest, this incel crisis, where the majority of young men are not in relationships and the majority of young women are. There's not like, they're not living together most of the time, so like this whole issue of the second shift is not the reason why these women are opting out of the relationship with the majority of men. They're just dating Chad. That's the whole thing. They don't care. Women don't have any dignity. They don't have any values.
Wait. That's a contradiction, because I just asked you, are women choosing to stay single? And you said that's what the data says. And now you're saying they're choosing to date Chad.
They're choosing to date Chad, but Chad, there's not enough Chad to go around.
Chad doesn't do house labor. Sure, I would agree with you. I would agree with you that women might choose Chad for like a fucking weekend at Bernie's. Sure. But for long-term committed relationships, no. Chads might be like one notch above incels.
They choose beta providers, true.
Beta providers. What is a beta?
I mean, that's like normal average. Well, marriage are 1-to-1 ratios, right? So we're talking about.
I think beta men are just men who don't subscribe to toxic masculinity, who have embraced aspects of femininity.
No.
I just want to point out that the entire argument that he has given has only been red pill shit, like exclusively red pill shit.
I still need like.
I'm a red pill. I'm black pill. Okay,
no, you're not, bro.
What's the delineation?
Stop. Well, black pill is just doomer, bro. Black pill is just doomer. The only reason he calls himself black pill is because he believes he's going to unalive without being able to procreate and fulfill his quote unquote duty, and that's the only reason why he calls himself black pill. You prescribe to everything.
The black pill philosophy typically offers only two options for what to do with their new accepted reality: accept their fate as an incel, or try to change society to their benefit. Usually advocate as potentially achievable by means of mass violence and terror, not politics or other methods of change.
I would never do that.
That's literally what this says.
Literally what it says. And that's
why I think your solution was advocating for mass violence, because you want fathers to choose brides for you so that you can grape them.
I mean, of course, if you think that patriarchy is mass violence, then you think patriarchy is mass violence.
Do you not think grape is violence?
I mean, they were talking about marital grape, which is like completely different.
Marital rape is great.
I don't want to have this conversation. I don't want to get banned for another fucking week. I don't want to have this conversation.
Marital grape is great.
If you don't want to get banned for a week, stop having shit takes. I tried to save you with this black pill shit. I tried to tell you, no, bro, stop. Like, you're just saying that because you're saying that you've accepted that you're ugly and you'll never have a woman. But you've literally been trying to get other men to change the structure of society so that, like, the red pill ideology can, like, actually take a hold. Like, all of the arguments you've given, have been red pill arguments. All of them. Like, literally beta male providers, women are choosing Chad, the number one thing that women go for is attraction. Like, all of these things you have been told, one, by a man, and two, by a red pill man. Like,
yeah, I will say those who choose to accept their black pill fate, suicide is often presented as the most inevitable solution. It also encouraged in misogynist incel communities as a form of sacrificial violence.
Mm-hmm. sacrificial violence. No, that's like this is like a sensationalist.
I'm reading newamerica.org. I don't think this is like a left-leaning political.
I mean, no one agrees.
It's literally like the calls coming from in the house.
Black pill is literally the most extremist thing. If you were black pill, the reason I said you're not black pill is because if you were black pill,
I think he is black pill. He's acknowledged a lot of these.
Yeah, he's acknowledged these.
He talked about suicide. He talked about using violence to get women. Like he talked about accepting that he's an incel.
All of these things. Because black pill is about doing it.
Oh, it is a liberal think tank. Okay.
Black pill is literally about them going out and doing the thing. He has no intention to go out and do any of these things.
It says that's one. They advocate two options, which is either that they accept their fate as an incel, which often presents suicide as the most inevitable solution, or they change their means of mass violence and terror.
I've never denied that I'm black pill. You can go on my chat, on my YouTube. On my
I do think you're black pill. You are hitting all of the tenets they say. Incels talk about potential self-harm, giving up hope, or suicide by using phrases such as rope, LDAR, which means lay down and rot.
I mean, yeah, it's a very depressing thing.
You have your own website, incels.co?
It's .is now. They changed.
.is?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, it's a very depressing thing. I mean, these people are suffering, and the left doesn't provide any.
You're just a loser, bro. Like, you're not suffering, you're just a loser.
Oh my god, I don't even know if I want to read this. This place looks scary.
No. You don't want to read it.
They're just like, that's all it is. It's just like, you're just a bunch of losers who are hoping.
My god, it's like Reddit for incels. This is crazy.
Yeah, no, 100%. And like this whole thing where it's like, oh, it's so sad. No, it's not. You're just a loser, bro. Like, go get some swag, nigga. I don't know what to tell you. Like,
the most depressing thing is that the left prides
itself. That you're a loser?
Is that the left
the most depressing thing?
Is that the left prides itself in its systemic analysis and just completely abandons it when we're talking about dating, which is very sad, I think, because I do think
you don't know any systemic analysis about dating. If I asked you anything about a systemic analysis about dating and the things we had to teach you about what women were doing and what men weren't doing within the household, you thought that women chose Chad. And then once we talked about how Chad doesn't do any housework, you said, "Oh no! Actually, they choose beta male providers." So
no.
You changed your answer. No, that's not true. Changed your answer on the basis of education in this conversation, nigga. The problem is like the most sad thing is that you actually think that the single men who are telling you dumb shit have any agency over like what it is that you should or should not be doing, and have any knowledge on the basis of like relationships within sociology. They don't. They don't even come fucking close. Like these niggas are actually broke. You're broke. You're just a loser. You're just corny.